Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Happy Moment. My name is Dan, and I'm glad you can join me today. Do you like books? Do you like games? If so, then this is the episode for you. I'm going to be reviewing the game Bring Your Own Book. This game is very easy to set up. It comes with one 60-second hourglass timer and 100 prompt cards. The object is to be the first person to collect 4 cards if there's 6 to 8 players, or 5 cards if there's only 3 to 5 players. And the way that you collect cards is by searching through a book to find the most entertaining phrases that match the chosen prompts. And even though the game recommends 3 to 8 players, you can play with more than 8 if you want to. Just any more than 8, and the rounds start to take a very long time, so it might bog things down a little bit. The way this game works is every player brings a book to the table. Doesn't matter what kind of book, fiction, nonfiction. I've even had players use cookbooks before. There's 2 types of players in this game. There's pickers and there's seekers. Whoever was the last person to read an epic novel becomes the first picker. To start the game, the picker will grab one of the prompt cards. Each prompt card has 2 prompts on it, and the picker will choose one that they like best, and then read it out loud. After reading the prompt, all the other players, the seekers, will look through their book and find something that they think will best match the prompt. It can be a single word, part of a sentence, a whole sentence, or even multiple sentences. The only restriction is that the text has to be in a sequence. You can't jump around and skip words. That means the rest of the seekers have 60 seconds to finish up. When the timer runs out or every seeker announces, "I've got it," everyone will take turns reading aloud what they found. If one of the seekers didn't find text in time, they simply open their books to a random page and select a random sentence to read. After all the seekers do their reading, the picker will choose their favorite and award the seeker the prompt card. Then play continues with the person to the left of the picker becoming the new picker. Also, every time any player reaches 2 cards, everyone passes their books to the left. So in any game, regardless of how many people are playing, by the time each player reaches 2 cards, everybody will have their original book back. Then, as I mentioned at the beginning, the instructions recommend the first player to collect 4 cards for a 6 to 8 player game is the winner, or 5 cards for 3 to 5 players. And that's it. That's pretty simple. There are a few variants that are included. There's cutthroat rules where everyone, including the picker, will search their book for an answer. And then the judge for the round is the last player who said, "I've got it." There's also democratic rules, which works similar to the basic game with one exception. Once the timer runs out, the picker will count to 3 and then say vote, and every player, including the picker, will point to the person with their favorite submission. The seeker with the most votes receives the card. If there's any ties, the picker will break it. That's it for the rules. Now let me go ahead and give you a couple examples. Just gonna grab the top card off the deck here. Okay, so the 2 prompts on the card I drew are part of a letter home from summer camp or a town slogan. A few episodes ago, I reviewed the book Juniper by Ross Jeffrey, and that's the book I grabbed to get my answers from. So out of these 2 prompts, I'm going to go with a town slogan, and I'm going to flip through Juniper here and see what I can come up with. All right, so I flipped through Juniper real quick and got a couple of answers here. A town slogan. Why has life got to be so hard? Here's another one. You need to be taught a lesson. During an actual game, the seeker would only select one answer, but I just wanted to show you a couple possibilities. In this case, I don't think I'd want to visit either of those towns if they had those slogans. Let's take a look at another card here. All right, so the prompts on this card are the name of an all-purpose household cleaner or the 11th commandment. That's a tough one, but I'll go with the 11th commandment. Okay, here's a couple. Stop wriggling. You're only going to make it hurt more. Or maybe, don't you get smart with me. So those are a few examples. I think you get the idea. As you can see, the game is pretty simple. It's also a lot of fun. I've played it a lot, and it's always a good time. If there's any downside to the game, I suppose it could be the fact that it requires everyone to be honest. For example, if someone only needs one more card to win, is the picker really going to choose them if they have the best answer? Or might they go with someone else? Though one way to avoid that would be to use the democratic rule variant. That's the one where the picker counts to 3 and then everyone votes by pointing at the one that they like the best. I haven't tried it that way, but I think that one does sound like it'd be a lot of fun. The game also comes in a very nice box. It's made to look like a book, and it has a magnetic flap on it to keep it shut. On the inside of the box, there's also a lot of space, so you can write down the names of all the books that you've used to play the game, which is kind of nice. Anytime I've played this game, everyone always has a really fun time. You can expect a game to last anywhere from 20 to maybe 40 minutes, more players adding more time to that. Definitely check it out though. It's even something that you could play online. If you were to get in a Zoom call with a group of people, only one person would need a copy of the game and they could just hold up the cards to the camera so everyone else could read the prompts. That's all for today's episode. Thank you very much for joining me. If you want to reach out to me, you can contact me on Twitter at @ahappymomentpod. I enjoy hearing any and all feedback. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.